Okay, so a little bit of background info before this video starts. I made this video because I recently got into a waifu war. A bunch of my friends said that Mio is the best Kan girl, but I'm a firm believer in the Ritsu Club. This video largely exists to prove to Joseph, Nam, and Adam that Ritsu is best girl, and more importantly, that she's better than Mio. So, there are lots of reasons why Ritsu is objectively the best Kan girl, but let's start from the beginning. Ritsu is the entire reason the Light Music Club exists in the first place. She is the reason that any of the other club members became just that, club members. Let's go down the list. First, there's Mio. Mio only joined because Ritsu dragged her into the Light Music Club. That makes it sound forceful, and it kind of was, but it's not like it was impossible for Mio to just leave and say no. Ritsu and Mio are childhood friends, so it makes sense that Mio would want to stay. Next, Mugi. When Mugi and Ritsu first meet, Ritsu begs and pleads for Mugi to join the Light Music Club. After Ritsu puts on a charade about how she and Mio made a promise to be in a band together, Mugi comes to the conclusion that being in the Light Music Club would be a lot of fun, so she decides to join. Lastly, Yui. While all the prior Light Music Club members definitely play a role in Yui's choice to join, Ritsu is ultimately the one that makes the move that pushes her over the edge. Ritsu suggests that she, Mio, and Mugi play for Yui, which interests Yui and finalizes her decision to join the club. Ritsu is also responsible for the fact that Azusa joins later on, because if she didn't convince all the other members to join in the first place, there would not have been a live show that makes Azusa want to participate. Every single member of the Light Music Club was heavily influenced to join in the first place because of Ritsu. Without Ritsu, there would be no K-On! Now, I would argue that one of Ritsu's best traits is how any interaction she has with the other band members can somehow be turned into a hilarious bit. Even when everyone is having a sad, touching moment, Ritsu finds a way to make a joke that doesn't completely destroy the atmosphere and make everything awkward. Ritsu is the life of the comedy in K-On!, and comedy is a big part of K-On!. Ritsu creates more funny scenarios than any of the other characters, purely because of her personality and how she interacts with her friends. A lot of the time, Ritsu teases Mio about various things, which can often lead to great moments. It's all in a friendly, joking manner, though, and nobody actually gets hurt. If you try to think of a comedic scene in K-On!, odds are that Ritsu is somehow fundamental in why the scene is funny. You might be thinking, that's great and all, but the other characters also contribute to the comedy and why the anime is funny. This is definitely true, but Ritsu is often the reason these other characters have funny bits in the first place. Mio and Ritsu have great chemistry and comedy, largely because Mio's quieter and self-conscious personality combines in a funny way with Ritsu's energetic and playful self. Mugi and Ritsu don't get a lot of screen time alone together, but when they do, it's great. Episode 14 of Season 2 revolves around Mugi and Ritsu hanging out and doing things together, which easily makes it my favorite episode in the whole series. Mugi having Ritsu help her get whacked on the head spawns greatness. Like this. At first, it looks like this is just a Mugi Mio funny, but it's actually started by Ritsu. Earlier in this same episode, Mio recalled that she hit Ritsu for eating the strawberry off of her cake once. I don't think I even need to explain why Ritsu makes Yubi better than she would be otherwise. The two have so many great things together that someone made a video of moments between the two of them. Go check it out. My argument with Azusa is a little weaker since she and Ritsu get fewer moments than even Ritsu and Mugi. However, Ritsu does go all out in her efforts to get other club members to join despite her failure. Also, whenever Azusa mentions that Ritsu is slacking off, a headlock is often the response she gets. That's pretty funny. Another reason Ritsu is best girl is that Mio is overrated and is not best girl. She's just stupid shy girl archetype that sits in the corner and cries all the time, and she's completely irrelevant in Season 1. Ritsu, however, is an epic, energetic girl who only actually cries once in the entirety of K-On! At least I'm pretty sure. Even then, she denies that she's actually crying because she would never sink so low to show negative emotion. I'm joking, by the way. None of the K-On! Girls are bad. Mio isn't even my least favorite. She is overrated, though. Okay, Nick, this is cool and all, like, yeah, whatever, Ritsu, blah, 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 she, like, does funny things, whatever. But I only watch K-On! To see cute girls doing cute things. What do you have for me then? Alright, bro, I got you. Ritsu is also objectively the most attractive member of the Light Music Club. By the way, I got all the following information from this article. Essentially, it analyzes Ritsu's facial features and looks at where the golden ratio is applied. If you don't know what the golden ratio is, you're stupid, but I'll tell you what it is anyway. It's proportion where one thing is 1.618 times the length of the other thing, and when they're put together, it's 1.618 times the length of the bigger thing. Now here's a picture that the article previously mentioned added to explain this more easily. Warmy with an A is 1.618 times the length of Weirmy with an I, and those two added up is Wormy with a U. Wormy with a U is 1.618 times the length of Warmy with an A. Now, on to Ritsu and how she is objectively perfect. Pretty much. In this picture, the A length, which goes from hairline to nose, should be in a golden ratio to the B length, which goes from nose to chin, and it should be the same with C, from the center of the eye to the mouth, and D, from the mouth to the chin. Now, the C length is almost perfectly 1.618 times as long as the D length at 1.62. We can pretty much say that's perfect, like Ritsu. Now, the A and B lengths are a little different. A is 1.8 times longer than B, which is pretty far away from the 1.618 we want. Wait though, in a direct quote from the article I'm getting all this from, the trend in modern pop aesthetics is to be attracted to people with longer A distances, end quote. This can be seen with pop stars like Jennifer Love Hewitt and Rihanna, but nobody really knows why this supposedly makes people look more attractive just yet. In any case, this means Ritsu's A to B ratio isn't quite as scientifically beautiful as the rest of her face, but it's pop modern beautiful. Now, that's not all there is to Ritsu's face being perfect. In addition to the placement of her eyes, mouth, nose, chin, and hairline, we can also look at her eyebrows. Although Mugi is the eyebrow girl, Ritsu's are the ones that are perfect. Anastasia Sarah, an eyebrow guru in Beverly Hills, uses the golden ratio to create perfect eyebrows. She has a page at this link, which will be in the description too. Now, here's a picture of Ritsu with all these lines on her face, but let me explain what each of these lines are. There's A, from the nose straight up, B, from the nose through the center of the iris, and C, from the nose through the outer edge of the eye. Now, I'm going to refer to the lengths listed as capital A and capital B in the image as AB and BC respectively, because those make more sense. The horizontal line here should be the high point of the eyebrow and divide the line AC so that AB is 1.618 times as long as BC. Now we have to take a look at Ritsu's eyebrows and how they compare to the rest of her face. Just about as it should be to create perfection, line AB is 1.59 times as long as line BC. That's pretty close to the golden ratio we want. So in conclusion, Ritsu's eye-mouth-chin proportions are pretty much perfect at the 1.62 ratio. Although the hairline, nose, chin proportions are a bit large for golden perfection with the 1.8 ratio, which is mainly because of anime eyes, they fit modern pop beauty pretty well. On top of each of these, the eyebrows fit nicely with the balance between the nose and eyes and are firmly classical at 1.59. Oh yeah, and also her butt follows the golden ratio and the golden spiral and all that, but that's a little less important, but still important, so I thought I had to mention it, but it'd be like a little side thing where I didn't go in depth on everything, but it's basically perfect, just like the rest of Ritsu, Come on now, say it with me. Ritsu, best girl. I spent 8 straight minutes talking about, proving that Ritsu is objectively better than any of the other K-On! Girls. She's the entire reason the club exists, she's the reason K-On! Is funny at all, she makes the other characters epic, Mio isn't best girl, and she's even objectively more attractive than the other ones.